Hi, everybody. Editor Bear here. Before we dive into this week's episode, I want to take a moment to tell you about our guest, Davia. Davia is one of our oldest and dearest friends. Tim and I absolutely adore her, and we were beyond thrilled when she agreed to join us for this episode. Unfortunately, like so many transgender individuals in this country, Davia is facing an incredibly volatile and frightening situation. By choosing to live as her authentic self, Davia has lost her career and is currently staying in a shelter with others in similar circumstances. And honestly, I think Tim would agree when I say that's absolutely fucking bullshit. Davia is an amazing, beautiful human being who deserves love, kindness, and safety just like the rest of us. Now, you might be asking, Bear, why the intro? And that is because I want you to show Davia some love and support. And since we live in a capitalistic society, support means money. I want you to send her money. If you have the means, please send what you can to Davia's Cashapp. The Cashapp handle is Joshnaround. That's Josh, the letter N, and the word around. Joshnaround. I'll include the handle in the show notes for reference. Thank you for listening, and thank you for supporting Davia. Okay, here's the show.
Turn the volume up, get us and sit down. You're listening to Cobb and Joe.
Hey, Tim.
Hi. He stretches my ass and he loves my cheeks. I don't know the rest of it, but I'm in love with the song. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, it might come up a little later in this episode. Tim, we have an amazing guest this week.
We do. One of my faves, my longest friendship, honestly.
I was like, oh my gosh, that's right. You guys have known each other forever.
Yes.
I've had the pleasure of knowing her for the last 15, oh gosh, 8, oh wow. I knew her before I knew you.
Yeah.
It's wild.
I mean, you know me because of her.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We decided to bring on one of our favorite people. Davia is going to join us for this episode.
Yes.
All the way from LA. And we're so excited. So,
Very.
Tim, why don't we jump right in?
Well, just like magic, we're going to bing, bang, boom. She's coming to the room. Something really funny and weird. Hi.
Well, everybody, we have a special guest with us this week. We are so excited. Davia, I was trying to think about the last time the three of us were in the same space, and I thought for a second it was Jason's wedding. But then I remembered Tim didn't come to the wedding.
I came to the wedding the day after.
You came to the after party, but the three of us were not in the same space at the last time I thought. And then I was like, holy shit, it's been like a decade plus at that point, like because we didn't meet at Jason's wedding. It's been forever. And so I'm so excited. Everybody, Davia is with us today. Hello, Davia. Hello.
Ooh. Round of applause.
Oh, go ahead.
No, we're just how you doing?
I am doing well. I can breathe this week. Nothing is on fire. I don't know. I haven't been. Ooh, I hope that's not too much. But I haven't been flashed this week yet. So that is on. How are you doing? I'm doing well. I haven't seen things I really didn't want to see.
Amen.
We don't like an impromptu.
No, we don't need any of that. So for our audience who may not know Davia, Tim and I went to school together at Radford University.
Are you?
Are you?
Oh, you can't do that.
And we were all in Phi Mu Alpha together. So, and we went through that hell. And
it was different. It was a moment.
It was different. Davia was part of my familia, my little. And gosh, Davia, what year did you come in?
'08, the spring of '08.
Spring of '08. So I was fall of '07, you were spring of '08, and then Tim came in spring of '09, right, Tim?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so you were right in there behind us, and that was a wild, wild time. So glad we all survived, like literally.
I like to think we did. Yeah.
Davia, do you ever think back to those amazing Radford University times with a smile or a frown or how do you think about those wonderful wonderful college years?
I remember hangovers, especially time packages. Like that's never going to be the same. I describe to like young people that I meet, I'm like, you don't understand. In the olden days, people used to smoke indoors, and a smell that was there. The what were those garlic knots there that I think of quite
Oh
often?
yeah. Oh crap. I've not thought about those in forever.
They're frequently music that I either sing or doing something that we did with Doc, our choir instructor. Sometimes those come back to me, like I'll just be sitting there and it's like, do up. And I'm like, no.
A lot of times I'll sit up there and be like, the boy's head is it? I'm like, stop, stop.
Start doing yeah, that's right.
I'm
The was
like, please stop.
I saw Trader Joe's was selling wassail, the toasting wine, and I was like, wassail. I was like, no.
Oh my God. That's one of those I never hope to hear again.
No.
Same. I don't want to go back to that.
Everyone's evening by saying, I met someone who won the game.
Really?
How do you
Because
win the game?
he'd never heard of it. So the person and I were talking, and we were like, "Oh God, I lost the game," which is so Radford, so 2008.
Uh-huh.
And then, what do you mean? I was like, the game. I lost the game, and it's like that doesn't help me. What is the name of the game you lost? It's like, oh my God, I've met someone who won the game, and also I'm
But say that last part one more time.
so old that no one remembers the game anymore.
I mean, listen, our traditions and cultural things are going to be something of the past very soon with this new generation that is being born, Gen Beta.
Oh no, Gen Beta.
It doesn't even sound right. Zoomers and the alphas. I taught a lot of the alphas. I'm good on them. Uh, I was already good on the Zoomers, and so it's kind of like millennials sit as an island of sanity amongst the chaos.
Mm. Davia, let me ask you, can you tell the listeners a little bit about your journey from Southwest Virginia to LA and kind of what that journey kind of looked like for you getting out of, Southwest Virginia or South Virginia? What would you call that Southwest Virginia where you were?
Um,
Yeah.
Tim, I think we count as Southwest.
I think we're South. I think Martinsville was South Virginia.
You think of Henry County, you guys have mountains. Well, we also have mountains, but okay, so let's not get too country.
Sure.
No, I just think that I think that Henry County is so close to like North Carolina. I mean, I lived maybe 15 minutes from the border, so I just consider it like South Virginia.
Hmm. There's a little Western in us because the South Virginians going out towards the ocean are very different people.
Mm.
Um,
Oh, well,
no
that's
offense,
Southeast.
but yeah, I'll speak a little bit about it. One of the things I've not had a chance to really talk about which I don't know how to do an intro to, is some of the things that I've been struggling with lately, and one of those are memory loss. So I will try and bridge as many gaps as I can. I left Radford, I think, in 2010. I done that spring. I walked that spring, and I remember Tim. I think you walked as well later on with
Yeah.
Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Bear, you graduated earlier. I
Graduated is a strong word. I left at some point. Yes.
The truth, yes.
All good. But yes, I was no longer 2010, 2011 was about my split time, yeah.
I was staying at Barbara's apartment in like right downtown,
Hmm.
and so you're okay, Carl. You're
I'm okay.
okay.
I had to catch my breath. Sorry. You said the B word.
No, and I apologize. But I got a job at the theater at a theater in Indiana. It was like the Lincoln Amphitheater something. I was a slave. Um, it was really.
I wasn't expecting that one. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God, don't white laugh.
I'm so sorry. That was my fault. That was on me.
I mean, there is humor in it. We were in 100-degree weather in southern Indiana in a national forest, wearing traditional clothing, if you will. And I was part of a slave choir because people thought that Black people could only sing, I guess, and be mistreated. So that's all we could do really was sing and be mistreated. And there were groups of like the Confederates and the Northerners, and it was weird. That was a miserable time for me. I moved from there to Atlanta, where I had a theater apprenticeship. I should probably mention that I did music and theater at Radford, so I did
Hmm.
voice performance, and then I got a theater degree. So it was kind of like having my foot in both worlds, a little bit like you, Bear.
Hmm.
Uh, Also like you, Tim. That something our family does, you know. We were
It's
mul-
true. We're all about the music and such.
Hmm.
and then I'm not going to give you too long of a historical rundown, but I moved to Atlanta for an apprenticeship there. Worked at a few theaters there. It was a wonderful experience. The work, not Atlanta. Tim, you're gonna have to meet what you liked about that city. I hate. Can we?
Oh yeah, you can
Oh
swear all day
yeah.
long.
Fuck damn shit all the time.
We missed it. We missed it one more time. What'd you say about Atlanta?
Hate that fucking city.
Well,
Hey.
Hmm.
So, good old hot Atlanta, which is more like moderately warm. It's like that kind of warm that's too hot to be hot, too hot to be cold, but too cold to be hot. Um, Good old Atlanta. I left from there and I moved to Birmingham, England, which is where I went for I went to the Royal Conservatory there to study, and that was I want to say a great experience. They say that they break you down before they build you up, and I think they do a lot of breaking. And then there's like duct tape, and it's like okay, rest yourself. So from there, my entire graduate class moved here to Los Angeles, is where I am now. And I've been here for what, like a decade?
mm,
I think so.
I so many things, and I think Tim, you may know a little bit more about this, but the things that's happened to me out here, from working in Beverly Hills and being around celebrities and rich people and serving Elon Musk's food and Beyonce and all that, to working in South Central LA at really socioeconomically uh, poor neighborhoods, to being a homeless tranny on the side of the road. So, you know, it's been quite a journey out here.
Yeah.
it's a beautiful life. to say the nonetheless, I guess.
Were you affected at all recently by some of the wild fires that were going on out there?
I would say yes, but Californians are affected by things. And by that, I mean, it was 5 or 6 blocks away. They were like, the wind probably isn't going to blow in this area. Is it going to jump over Hollywood Boulevard? So everyone's like going on about their business. If it comes a couple of blocks closer, we would care. And meanwhile, there are like helicopters, and the entire world is orange glow, and I couldn't breathe. And it's just like earthquakes and so on. There isn't a sense that urgency and safety go
Mm,
hand out here. So the biggest danger, I think, was ash falling. Air quality was horrible. Uh, Animals, and a lot of animals. So where I live at here in Hollywood, there's a lot of coyotes, and
mm.
because the mountainous area, all of that burning, the coyotes are just here. They're usually kind of in the evening, but now it's just like you're sitting there, a coyote walks by, it's like, can I have a cigarette? And you're like, no, you shouldn't be smoking.
Yeah.
But really, that many coyotes.
Wow.
So
What a tobacco patch.
Yeah, really.
no, I say that because I'm proud of myself. I've gone about 7 weeks now without cigarettes or vaping or nicotine or anything. I had done, thank you, 5 plus years of alcohol sobriety. And with the cigarettes, I'd stopped. But then when I became homeless, let's just say, I don't know, sometimes you need something.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the shelter that I'm living in kind of operates where when I first got here, people would be like, can you do this? I'll give you cigarettes. And you're like, okay, so then I'll trade the cigarettes to someone else for fuck.
Random.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
right.
Yeah.
All
Now,
right.
I have a very important question for you. Um, you mentioned that you have a cat, and I would like to see the cat. Is the kitty cat around?
We will try. Okay,
Okay.
Lyra, actually behind me.
Oh,
That was me. Lyra,
come on, Bob.
she is absolutely like refusing to move.
Okay.
Let me show her with a toy.
What's her name?
Lyra.
Lyra, I
Lyra.
don't, I don't know if you remember, there's a book series called His Dark Materials. There was a book that
Yeah.
came called The Golden Compass.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's a television show by HBO. Well, the lead character's name is Lyra Balakwa Silver Tongue. So my daughter's name is Lyra Balakwa Silver Tongue. And I don't know, she is everything that I am, except, you know, as I tell her, she's a pussy. So,
Your David, your audio went out at the worst time. I think that you
Yeah.
said that. Will you say that last
Said
part one more
Lyra,
time?
and then after that, and the Golden Compass, and then it just went from there. It was kind of. Can you hear?
oh,
There you
There
are.
you
You're
go.
much better now. There we go.
okay. I'm not sure what happened.
That's okay. So wait, so you were saying you and your kitty cat are similar or have something in common? What was that?
Yes, so she is officially an emotional support cat because her mommy has differences, and she has all of my personality traits, even down to, being a bitch, not wanting to talk to anyone, being moody, scratching people, hissing. just like the normal.
I won't disagree. I think that you are a very lovely mommy. So
Amen.
Thank you. Sometimes, though, she's a Turkish van, and that's all well and good. But I tell her sometimes that, a Black American mother, that's an experience. And first off, she's thankful she's not on the streets. Um, Technically, she is because I am. I took her from a shelter and brought her to another one. But I told her, having a Black mother means that there are some things you can't do
truly,
and not do.
like you must use a washcloth.
Oh, oh my God. So this has the potential to be very gross, but I will censor myself. Um, Here, I live at a shelter here in Hollywood. There are a lot of different types of femmes and women of all different descriptions. And
Hmm.
there are people here who are Russian immigrants, people who are from South America, Africa, and is a huge hub for trans women who are homeless. So we're all kind of mixed together, and there's the restrooms and shower stalls or things are kind of like what you would imagine in a dormitory where you have privacy, but you're still more or less in the same room. Um, that can lead to a lot of differences in discovering hygiene. And for some people, it's not even just the washcloth. It's like soap, you know.
Yeah, that's one of the things I learned when I moved in with people. It's just different uses, different modes of hygiene.
I will say, in defense of those of us who are on the streets, it goes kind of two ways. Sometimes it's a lack of resources.
Yeah.
You're reliant on whether or not you can find something. And you sometimes, depending on what place you're at in terms of mental health and so on, you might have some difficulties just with things like hygiene. So there are other things to take into account. And then there are just people who you're like, you know how to wash.
Hmm. I mean, you've been around your black friends for all this time, and there's no washcloth in sight.
I mean, I don't know.
But that's life. Hi, Bear. Have you?
Oh, hey, Tim, how are you doing?
I'm great. I'm wonderful. Just exfoliated from my washcloth.
Exfoliated completely. That's right.
Yeah.
You're the worst. I'm so happy Davy is here. You're terrible.
You see, this is how I'm treated, Davia. This is what your big does to me.
Well,
It's probably because you didn't choose me as your little. But anyway, um,
shots
I
fired.
exactly right. Um, but I. Hmm.
it's fine. I have a lovely big shout out to you, Anthony. We love you.
Yes, we
Oh,
do.
that's right.
I'm here like a Black woman in church
Mhm.
because we are here in California. We love to do this thing where even though it goes up only to like 60 degrees, there's never any cloud cover. So it's just
Mhm.
direct.
Yeah.
And after a while, direct sunlight starts to just feel like direct sunlight. And so, long line of Black women who have their fans. I have my fan with me wherever I go. So if it's distracting, I apologize, but it's like my Black woman, my Black femme weapon of choice to keep me cool.
You know, we love it. We love how it like cascades your hair. It's a beautiful thing. Oh, what is that symbol on it?
I it says lit life. I think it has something to do with marijuana.
Oh, okay.
Um, this is Los Angeles, so like one out of every three things has something to do with weed.
Fair.
I don't know why you would not want to have it deal with weed. So,
Exactly. So, question.
yes.
Am I allowed to ask what's been going on with you guys? Can you, I mean, I know that people know what's going on, but for me, like maybe a little bit of a brush up, because again, it's been a decade and I don't know everything.
Yes, well, I will go first because it'll be the shortest. I mean, Davia, you are uh my longest friendship, honestly. Like we knew each other from Martinsville. So, I mean, I really don't have anybody outside of that. So, I thank you for that. Your friendship is wonderful. Anyway, my life is going pretty darn swell. Life is doing what it can in this 2025. Like it is I can't complain too much cuz I'm here. So yeah, I'm not
Amen.
I'm not mad at it. So, yeah, my life is I'm single still. I am happy still. I am still full of love and just living life according to uh, the universe's will. So,
And on his behalf, I will also say that Tim has really taken a hold of his future and what he wants to do and where he wants to go. He has done a lot for himself in regards to finances. He's done a lot for himself in regards to his professional endeavors. He started out at a job that was very difficult and took the skills he learned there and can now really go wherever he wants to go. Tim is Timming very hard, and I'm very proud of him.
well, thank you. Thank you. And Bear is the DJ to the RVA Stars. He is working, getting his paper for sure, and has a boy person that he loves.
Yeah, Davia. So I've been with my partner for 5 years now. We met shortly after me and Tim moved in together in Richmond, and we live together now. We moved in shortly after the pandemic kicked in, so that was a lot of fun. His name is Al. He's my favorite. Um, so I got my partner, and I work for Goodwill. I've been working for Goodwill for about a decade now, and I work in their IT department. And then on the side, I DJ, and I get to play music for a lot of the queer folks here in town, which is a lot of fun. One of the groups that really got my foot in the door with the queer community here is a group called Trans Jam. They do a lot of work in the area for obviously people who transgender individuals, but also like just non-binary, just queer in general. A lot of people coming in and out of that organization, which is just awesome. And they put on markets and they put on drag shows and they just kind of create safe spaces for people in the area. And so I kind of was able to get my foot in the door there and just kind of be their go-to DJ. And then that kind of got me into some of the clubs here and just kind of into the community in general. So that's been a lot of fun the last couple of years. But yeah,
It's excellent. I'm very happy to see that. Did I meet Al at Jason's wedding?
you did. You know what? I was sitting here thinking that that Al and you had not met, but I forgot. Yeah, yeah, you met him at the table with me at Jason's wedding. Oh, Jason's wedding, just bringing everybody together. Look at that. Except
I
for Tim.
know. That
I
was
feel like I was brought together on the day I needed to be brought.
Yeah.
Hi, Jason and Jennifer.
Hey guys.
I feel brought together.
Very much at one.
uh, wedding was one of the last times that, well, it was the last time I was on the East Coast, but it's one of the last times that I've presented, the last time I presented as a cis male.
Mm.
And back on the photos, I had thought about coming as myself, but I was just in the beginning of getting over, what that looked like from a social point of view. I did not want to, not necessarily steal thunder. I didn't want to steal whatever little steal anyone else's glory. So I thought it
Yes.
would be just as a brother. By the way, I still consider myself a brother of Phi Mu Alpha.
Yeah.
We talked about this when we were there a long time ago about girls who were like honorary brothers.
Hmm.
And so I am an honorary brother of Phi Mu Alpha for life.
There you go.
I love it.
Um, Lost my train of thought.
Oh, so you were talking about how that wedding was one of the last times you presented a cisgender male, like to people outside of your kind of social circle at that time. So what? That's been about 2 years now.
2 years and some change. And you say social circle, and there is some amusement between myself and my cat about what that means.
Hmm.
But yes, social circle.
Fair enough. So do you? I mean, I know that you've been in LA longer than your transition started. Do you feel like being in a space like California kind of provides you some of the supports and things that you would be looking for that you might not get in some place like Virginia or somewhere else?
That is an excellent question. I would say, with the exception of Virginia, that's true of most states. Virginia is one of the last bastions in the South. The difference being is Virginia, it depends on, who the governor, who the delegates are, and that can change every 4 years. So it'd be like, yeah, I'm doing great. Yeah, 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 everything is illegal. Yeah, everything is great. Everything is illegal. So from that point of view, California does offer a lot of more services. There are, I think the statistics are something along the lines of 70% of all homeless trans women in America live in Los Angeles. So there are a lot of us here. There's a girl here from Eden, North Carolina. um, it would be interesting to say that, or it is interesting to say that most of the trans girls here are genderqueer girls, or femmes, or from the South.
Hmm.
From that point of view, yes, but I think there is for every two people who are accepting, for every two things about California, that it makes it easier and more welcoming than a place like Virginia, there's always one that is kind of like the drawback. So I don't find it necessarily any different than a place like Roanoke. Definitely not more different than thinking out to Virginia Beach or DC and so on. Um, I face uh, transphobia every single day. Literally, I was in a therapy group right before this, and that we're supposed to talk about an incident that happened throughout the week in which we were able to emotionally regulate. And there was an older gentleman came for the first time, and I say older, I mean 70 plus, Caucasoid, and so I mean that's anthropologically, you guys are Caucasoid. And he goes on about how he saw a man in a dress with a woman, and he goes up to the man and is like, "What is your pronouns?" Which he was so proud of himself for knowing what that meant. I'm like, "Yay, as an English teacher, I'm so glad in your 70s you're happy to know what a pronoun is." Um, and then he was surprised when the person said that it was she, her, and then her girlfriend also said she, her. Apparently, the girlfriend was cis and she was trans, which happens all the time. And he just could not get over that and was really offended by the fact that the man had a cis woman but was also in a dress, and giving himself essentially mad props for the fact that he held it together and was, using mindfulness skills, so on. And so I left. I that and I sat and I meditated a while between that therapy group and this. But it's I want to say on topic, but I will just say for all the perceptions of California as being more liberal or more, California is just more. It has more hate groups than any other state. It has more neo-Nazis than any other state. It has more programs to help trans people than any other state. It has everything really more than any other state. So, on the one hand, I have access to a lot of things that or things I could not get in Virginia and so on. But at the same time, I still lost my teaching career and face dangers on the street and assaults and so on and so forth on a daily basis. So tell me if that was over explaining there.
No,
But
no, no. I mean, I
No.
think it's important for people, especially people who look at cities and states, like you look at New York, you look at California, and you think it's a mecca, you think that it's the answer, you think it's Oz. And what you find, that was a great way of putting it. You find that there's just more. There are more people, so there are more things. It does not mean they have all the answers.
Yeah,
It
just
doesn't
because you
mean that
have more
you're,
programs that are beneficial doesn't mean you're gonna not have any hindrances.
yeah.
exactly. And just a quick side note on that, because just today I was thinking to myself, oh, people on the East Coast have no idea. There's also a part of California that feels slightly in the future. And I'm sorry to say that, but like in the neighborhood I live in, self-driving cars are like every fourth car.
Mhm.
Um, self-driving I mean not mechanics, robots that deliver food are everywhere and things like that. And not that those things aren't spreading to other parts of the country, but it's in those kind of ways, it's been wonderful living in California, watching things like um, Uber take over the country from California, Netflix from California, being able to say that the Netflix is like right there. I can see it out of my window. Um, a lot of those DoorDash, just kind of like everyday American things, like watching them go from small potatoes to actually, something. That's been a good thing about California. But overall, like you were understanding, Bear, it's just a matter of something like Los Angeles County having 10 million people and the state of Virginia having 8 million. So, it's
Yeah.
like California, yes, you'll have 15 million Democrats or progressives or whatever vote, but you might also have 8 to 12 million Republicans, which is more than the entire population of a place like Virginia. So,
Yeah. Mm,
You're gonna have, yeah, it's you're gonna have pluses and minuses, and it could be on any range of like big to small.
to give California her due, she likes to do everything in extremes. It's like, no, not fire, fire. No, not rain. It's going to be atmospheric, and there's going to be 20 of them. What earthquake? No, it's going to be a mega earthquake. Like everything that happens out here, it can't be small. And I think people have just gotten used to that, where they're like, oh, earthquake, oh, fire. I didn't die.
yeah. Yeah, it comes in waves, literally. Is there anything else you wanted to touch on in this first episode? I will say the first episode you are on. Is there anything else you wanted us to touch on before we sign off?
not really. I want to try Lyra to come over. So now that since you're editing this out, let me see if I can bring her
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
Then there, Lyra, there are people who want to see. Oh, don't bite me. Uh, she's gonna bite the fuck out of me.
Lyra. Hey, baby.
Hi.
Oh, she looks like she really enjoys us.
Oh, she is not. She don't like the camera.
Davia, how long have you had her?
Since 21. I got her in 21 because with the pandemic, the lockdowns out here lasted so long. And I was personally in lockdown for about 3 or 4 years, so I needed someone, and she saved my life in every sense of the word. She has,
No.
and she actually has helped a lot with my transition.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hi,
Somebody
Lyra.
that's there for you when you need it.
Nope.
Oh, like I'm to be seen, not heard. Not I
That's
need to,
right.
not heard, not seen.
Well, Davia, thank you so much for joining us today. I really, really appreciate it. I know me and Tim have, I know we've been talking about trying to coordinate this for the last few weeks, and I'm just really glad. And I'm really glad I got to see you. This is my first time seeing you, and I love you very much. And I'm so proud of you. So, love you to death. Uh, Tim, do you want to tell us what's making you live this week? We'll show Davia what we do.
Yeah. I am living for this song. It's by You're Pretty, and I have forgotten the name. Give me 1 second. Um,
Fair magic.
it is by You're Pretty. Keep Riding Me. It is literally about a daddy that gets to enjoy said boy, and they want to have them keep riding them. So,
Very on the nose.
really, really excited about that. So,
Nice.
what about you? What are you looking for?
I'm living for an anime called Dan to Dan.
Okay.
It's been in the ether for the last couple weeks on Netflix, and finally started watching that with the partner. And it's super weird. It's like it's a story about these two high school students, a boy and a girl, who befriend each other and then kind of go on this fantastical ghost hunting, alien spirit hunting kind of thing. It's so weird. I really can't even explain it. And it's not something I would normally watch, but the two characters are very cute and the music's great. So yeah, Dan to Dan, really, really loving a little anime love this week. So that's what I'm doing. Davia, what's making you live this week?
If I'm absolutely completely honest, the two of you.
Aww.
You spend a lot of years thinking about the people who you know and what their reactions are going to be to things. And I don't necessarily always care what other people think, but when you love people, you want them to continue liking you throughout your life. And I have experienced such love from you, Tim, especially, and just Bear, it's still there.
Yeah.
And you to know that the fraternity's love extended beyond petty bullshit. So that's what I'm living for. I'm living for still being a brother, even though I am your sister.
Amen. Always and forever. Oh,
The Duchess Davia.
don't you start crying because I'm gonna cry and I'm gonna get mad at you.
I I love you very, very much. So that's all I'm gonna say. Because it nothing. Okay, go. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So Tim, where can people find us?
You can find us anywhere you can find the Duchess. You can find them on the screen. You can find them in English lore. You can also find us at covenchub.com.
That's right, comeandchub.com, where you can stream our episodes, buy our merchandise, look at pretty pictures of me and Tim. And this week, maybe even a picture of Davia. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us, Davia. This is the first of many, I'm sure. It's been too long, and it won't be that long next time, I promise.
Thank you guys for having me. This is delightful. I really hope that's not not the only.
It will not be.
Amen. Everybody have a good week. We'll talk to you next time, okay? Mwah.
Bye.